I thought about creating a bucket list, but I realized if I put it on a bucket list, I would in many cases be giving myself an excuse not to accomplish it. Hey everybody, Pierre Quinn here, and I teach leaders like you how to courageously begin the journey to personal and professional transformation. And in this video, I want to encourage you not to make a bucket list, but do this instead. So let's go. I know creating a bucket list is a really popular thing to do. For many people, it's a list of dreams for them, a list of dream destinations, a list of dream vacations, a list of dream purchases, a list of dream people to meet. It all falls into the realm of dream. And here's the safe thing about a bucket list. If you never accomplish it, if it never comes to pass, if you can never bring it to life, it's still in the realm of fantasy. So you're let off the hook if you never accomplish any of the things that are on your bucket list. Instead of creating a bucket list, I want to encourage you to create a work for it list. That's right, I said a work for it list. Now, that changes the whole game when we start talking about things that you're actually willing to work for. You take it out of fantasy, out of far possibility, and you actually bring it up close to you. Now, here are several things that are on my work for it list. One of the things on my work for it list is giving my kids the option to work for me. I want to build my company, the Cardell Group, to a place where when my children graduate college or whatever training and development program they choose to pursue, they have an option to work for their dad's company or to start their own business or to work for someone else. When you look at people like Les Brown and John Maxwell and Dave Ramsey, all of these individuals have created businesses where they can employ their family and friends. And on my work for it list is building my company to a place where my children have the option to work for me. Another item on my work for it list is a trip to Kenya. For the longest time, my wife has wanted to go on a Kenyan safari. I think this was something that was on her mind ever since she was in high school. I'm willing to put the work in to be able to take my family on a Kenyan safari. Another item on my work for it list is writing a top-selling book. Now, I've written 4 books in my lifetime, and I've sold a couple of thousand copies combined of all of those books. Now, that's nothing to shake a stick at because many self-published authors don't sell that many books at all. So I'm proud of the thousands of copies that I've sold of my books, especially the success of my book, Leading While Scared. I'm proud of the thousands of copies that I've sold of my books, and I'm looking to leverage that experience to end up writing a top-selling book. Another item on my work for it list is canceling all the debt in my family. Student loans, credit card debt, medical debt, all of the things. Willing to work to cancel all the debt in my family and to alleviate that burden. Some amazing things happen when you are debt-free, and that's something I'm willing to work for. Another item on my work for it list is hosting and keynoting at my own international conference. Now, I've hosted several virtual summits and live conferences, seminars, workshops before over the years. And part of that is building up to and looking forward to hosting my own big international leadership development event. I was talking to a couple of friends several weeks ago, and we saw this as one of the big goals, not a bucket list entry, but a work for it item. And I'm looking forward to the day where I announce to you that I'm opening up registration for my big international in-person leadership development event, summit, conference, whatever you want to call it. Looking forward to producing that, not on my bucket list, on my work for it list. The final item that I'll share with you on my work for it list is becoming one of the top speakers in the world for emerging leaders. Every time there's a list of the top speakers in whatever category that comes out, I look at the list, and I look at the names, and I check their work, and I check the scope of their influence. I know if I continue to work hard, if I continue to strategize, if I continue to put the effort in, I will be on the list of top speakers. I know what many of you are saying. How can you be on the list of top speakers if you don't get a haircut every single week? Yeah, I get it. it. Now, before the whole COVID thing, I was super regular with my haircuts. I was getting them nearly every week. I was keeping my line straight and fresh. And ever since COVID, I haven't been able to hang out with my barber that much. But I know on this journey to be one of the top speakers in the world, gotta make sure I keep up with those haircuts. So in addition to creating content, in addition to sharing my story, in addition to giving you tips and insights, we'll try to be a bit more regular with the haircut thing. But being one of the top speakers in the world is not on my bucket list. It's not on my wish list. It's not on my hope list. It's not on my just pray about it list. It's on my work for it list. Now, here's the thing about a work for it list. Having something on a work for it list actually raises the stakes. And in order for you to achieve the goals on your work for it list, you're going to need 4 things. Here are the 4 things you're going to need. Number 1, you're going to need a plan. Here's the thing about a bucket list. A bucket list, you don't really need a plan. It's just something you daydream about, maybe even something you write about in your journal. But if you don't put a plan behind it, you'll never see that idea move forward. In order for something to be on your work for it list, it's got to have a plan. Not only do you need a plan, you also need resources, because the reality is that no one ever accomplishes anything great by themselves. You don't accomplish anything great without support. You don't accomplish anything great without a team. You don't accomplish anything great without the tools and resources to make it happen. You can't just have a plan if you're going to work for something. You're also going to need the right resources. A third thing that you will need to bring the things on your work for it list to life is something called accountability. I know that's a word that many of us run away from. Here's the thing about you being your accountability partner. Whenever you get tired, whenever you get frustrated, whenever you get annoyed, whenever you get overwhelmed, you do a very good job of letting you off the hook. I want to encourage you, as you are looking at the things that you are willing to work for, that you have a plan, that you have resources, but make sure you get some accountability. Surround yourself with people just ahead of you who are working towards similar goals. Surround yourself with people just behind you that are working towards similar goals. And as you're being poured into and mentored and challenged and held accountable by one group, you can in turn pass on that same benefit to another group. Here's the last thing that I'll share with you that you need in order to bring the things on your work for it list to life. And that thing is called commitment. Yeah, you got to commit to it. You have to commit to it. You have to be devoted to it. You have to make promises to it. What commitment does, and I talked about this in a previous video, what commitment does is that commitment shows up on the days when things are really tough. Commitment shows up on the days where you don't see the progress that you're looking for. Commitment shows up when you have the naysayers and you have the trolls and you have the people who are poking fun at what you're trying to do. Your commitment says, I'm going to keep going no matter what. So you need a plan, you need the right resources, you need accountability, and you need commitment. And if you leverage all of those things, you will take the things on your work for it list and bring them to life. So here's what I need you to do right now. Hit that subscribe button so that you can be one of the first to know whenever I release new content. And if you're already subscribed, be sure to hit that notification bell. Here's the other thing that I need you to do. Let me know what's on your work for it list. What are some of the things that you're willing to put a plan in place for, that you're willing to leverage resources for, that you're willing to find accountability for, and that you're willing to make the commitment for?